How we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. We're doing an album review and we're talking about the new solo album from Ricky Warwick. This is Blood Ties. I managed to pick up one of the signed editions before they sold out from Earache Records. And who's Ricky Warwick? You know who Ricky Warwick is. He's from The Almighty, Thin Lizzy, Black Star Riders. You know, that guy. He's on Planet Rock every 5 minutes. He's a bit of a troubadour, really. He's always... When did I jump on board? How long have I known? Well, yeah, let's go through the albums. I first became aware of The Almighty when they first reformed, and they put out... Where's the album? The self-titled album. And I remember it getting rave reviews in Kerrang! And I remember listening to an interview with him on Ian Camfield's show, I believe. Was it? Yeah, I believe it was Ian Camfield on XFM, and they played the Astoria off the back of this, supported by Stamping Ground. And yeah, Broken Machine was the song they were playing at the time on the radio. I jumped on board with that, and been more or less following them ever since. I've, filled in bit by bit, got all the Almighty albums. And I didn't really jump on board with his first couple of solo albums. I remember seeing them being reviewed in magazines and whatnot, but to be honest, I never really saw them in shops. But I remember when Thin Lizzy first reassembled with Ricky on vocals. I remember seeing the headline, like Thin Lizzy relaunched or reformed to tour next year, and I remember thinking, this is sacrilege. Like, how can Thin Lizzy tour without Phil Lynott? Who's doing it? And I looked up the lineup and saw it was Ricky Warwick. I was like, oh, yeah, that's that guy from The Almighty. I like him. And then the more I thought of it, I thought I could see him pulling it off. And I was saying to my wife, Thin Lizzy are touring, but Ricky Warwick from The Almighty's the front man. And she had the exact same reaction as me. She's like, well, how can that work? But no, the more I think of it, it could work. And we just went, right, well, we're never going to see Thin Lizzy, proper Thin Lizzy, with Phil Lynott. And The Almighty aren't getting back together anytime soon. So I might as well kill two birds, one stone. How bad can it be? And we ended up watching that lineup 4 times. We saw them at the Hammersmith Odeon twice. We saw them at a festival in London. I can't remember what is it, High Voltage? I know Judas Priest headlined it one day. We just went for the one day. And then we saw them at Southend. And then obviously that lineup of Thin Lizzy became Blackstone Riders, and they put out, what's this first album called? All Hell Breaks Loose. And they've ended up doing 5 albums now. And still, off and on, Ricky would jump back and put out the odd solo album. He did put out a solo album in 2023. Well, there's rewind a little bit, in 2014, 15, around that time, I actually contributed to what was it called? Like a crowd fund. I think it was Music Pledge at the time, when he put out 2 albums, when Patsy Cline was crazy and Guy Mitchell sang the blues, and Hearts on Trees. And you got a rock album and an acoustic album. Yeah, it was like 2 albums recorded at once. And I contributed to that crowd fund. What was the album that came out a year or 2 ago? When Life Was Hard and Fast. I didn't buy that album, but I did get it to review, and I've still got it. And I remember reviewing it at the time and liking it enough. Didn't buy it though, shame to say. But I checked out this new one. Let's get on with it, shall we? Ricky's that type of person. Oh yeah, obviously since Almighty have reformed and we saw them, me, my wife and my boy, my eldest, went to see them. Was that last Christmas or the Christmas before? And that was with Luke from Maiden Cast. And his wife as well. Don't check out her channel, Silver Screen Snob. And they were awesome. And it's funny because I always thought the Almighty would never reform, and I thought that thought that ship had sailed. In fact, I did interview Ricky once and did ask him about the Almighty, and he just sort of said it's not that I don't want to. It's just if I rang everyone up and said, "Do you want to reform?" They'd go, "Yeah." Oh, okay, cool. When? And then that would be the end of it. So it's good to see that they've got their shit together. It don't look like there's going to be a new album anytime soon, though. Although there are select shows. Maybe Ricky as a songwriter has moved on from what would be an Almighty, what would take to make an Almighty album. But as a singer, as a songwriter, though, I mean, he's just evolved so much over the years. He can literally put his hand to anything, be it like a punk or like a rockabilly or just straightforward rock or something a bit more folky and a bit bluesy and something in the vein of Van Morrison. You know, there's that. You know, he's got that Irish. He's just got that Irish tradition in him. He's a storyteller, really. You know, he's a poet, and you know, I think it seems anyway from the outside that Ireland being a musician's just like any other trade. You know, you learn it and then get a job. You know, you look for regular work. Be it doesn't matter if you're a rock star or if you're just playing at the local bar. If you're playing and getting paid, you're a musician. End of. And he seems to be the type. I mean, again, I don't know, but he comes across to me as the type of songwriter that's. He's just one of those guys, you know. He wakes up in the morning and he's got a coffee and he'd tell he's on, but he's automatically just got a guitar and he's just like strumming. He's always noodling away on a guitar. Always got a notepad. Always got a tape recorder somewhere. And I think he's just one of those guys that is always just working on something. He's always got like a song on the go. And when it comes to whatever project he's on, he's just like, you know, just flicks through the book. Oh, try this, you know. And everyone's different, you know, but there are songwriters like that. And the gold digger doesn't find gold every day, but he does go digging every day. And I think, yeah, Ricky strikes me as one of those type of songwriters. And this is just the latest collection to go into the even bigger collection that is his songbook, you know. But yeah, this is a very easy listen. It breezes by, it plays itself, and it's one of those albums that it just goes on, plays itself in the background, and you go, yeah, that's fine. But next thing you know, a day or two goes by and you start humming a melody to it. You end up getting a riff stuck in your head going, wait, what song is that from? Oh yeah, it's this. Crocodile Tears comes to mind. But yeah, it opens up with Angels of Desolation, which is a familiar enough territory, kind of rocking. It's got a well-sung chorus, nice and melodic and memorable. You're in familiar territory. Then you get Rise and Grind featuring Charlie Starr. That's kind of starts off, it has a very 90s feel to it. You know, like when all the 90s rock albums kind of had that sort of 60s psychedelic effect on the guitar, and sort of like, you know, they always had that sort of 60s psychedelic with a little bit of industrial, like electronic sort of drum beat behind it. It kind of starts off with that and then builds up, but it's got a great chorus and it's quite heavy as well. But yeah, Rise and Grind's really good. Track 3, you got a Don't Leave Me in the Dark, which is a duet with Lita Ford, who you know from the Runaways and obviously a big successful career in the 80s. Yeah, it's a nice enough song, good enough duet. Neither here nor there really. Then we get the Crickets. The Crickets Stayed in Clovis. Yep, fair enough. But this is a good song, and the main riff of this is Thin Lizzy. Yeah, this easily could have been on a Black Star Riders album, but yeah, massive Lizzy vibes, especially that main riff on that track. Don't Sell Your Soul to Fall in Love. Is this one got? There's a couple of songs on it. It's got Billy Duffy in it from the Cult. Not sure about that one, but he's on the next one. So this one, Don't Sell Your Soul to Fall in Love. It's quite a melancholy song, but it's a melancholy rocker that's again nice heavy chorus. I mean, I think these songs could have had a bit more crunch, a bit more like kick to them with the guitar, and they could be heavier songs. But I don't know. Maybe next thing you know, are you back in Almighty territory and he wants to differentiate himself? I'm not sure. But I think some of these songs could be on an Almighty album and they would be heavier for it. But with that being said, it's a good song. And like I say, nice melancholy feel on that one with a bit of a heavy chorus. Dead and Gone is another good rocker. Crocodile Tears, I think, is the highlight for me. And that main riff, that it's kind of poppy and infectious, but it's a real earworm. And those crocodile tears, and then the background kicks, like background vocals kick in that main riff. When you hear it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he should definitely do that as a single, and that'll be on Planet Rock every 5 minutes. If he hasn't released it as a single already, I don't know about that. But really good song. And then we got what's next? Did I miss The Hell of You and Me? That's got Bill Duffy in it, from the Cult. And they actually had a band together, Ricky Warwick and Billy Duffy. There was both of them on guitar, and they had like a front man, a different guy on vocals. But I think they should work together again. I think they suit each other. But yeah, Hell of You and Me is a good song. Where was I? Crocodile Tears. Wishing Your Life Away. Now this one is definitely could be an Almighty song. Second from last track, Wishing Your Life Away. Yeah. Again, kind of in the vein of Over the Edge. And yeah, I could just imagine with a bit more of a metallic crunch to it, easily could fit on an Almighty album. And then you got The Town That Didn't Stare. It's got like a dun 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 dun, like a stomp, like no dun 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 dun, like a stomping rhythm underneath it. It's a good finisher. And then yeah, if you get the CD edition, you get a bonus track, Not My Circus, which is another good track as well. Definitely worth getting the physical copy for. And yeah, check out Earache. I think, I don't know how many's left, but it was a limited edition if you get a signed copy. But overall, yeah, it's a good soundtrack to what is slowly turning into summer. And I might put a few of these older albums on the phone as well, just to, you know, add to the proceedings, because I'm really enjoying this and it's making me want to go back and check out his or rekindle, re-listen to some of his albums, solo albums. And yeah, it's Ricky Warwick. You can't go wrong. You know, everything he does is solid, and he's a great songwriter, be it whatever band he's putting his hand to at the time. And then when it all goes quiet, that's all right. He just puts out a solo album. He can do what he wants. And yeah, another good addition to the collection. So, Ricky Warwick, have a beer. He is the soundtrack to your summer. So, yeah, that's it for now, folks. And working on a couple of retrospectives. Hopefully, Pantera Cast is going to continue in the next couple of days. So, we will carry on. And I shall see you all soon. Thanks.